So it's August 17th, and on this day in Cold War history, some really interesting things have happened. In the 1930s, the Soviet Union tested the Gird-R1 rocket. Not a lot to see there, but there's going to be this perpetual trend of rockets and space launch and those kind of things in Cold War dates and history. In 1945, Korea was divided into North and South Korea along the 38th parallel. Now, I got this from the State Department website. Quote, during World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union agreed to temporarily divide Korea at the 38th parallel in order to oversee the removal of Japanese forces. It soon became clear, however, that neither of the Cold War antagonists would permit its Korea ally to be threatened by unification. The Soviets supported Kim Il-sung in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in the north. The United States backed Syngman Rhee in the Republic of Korea in the south. Okay, that was 1945. 1946, George Orwell published Animal Farm. And if you remember Animal Farm, it was an allegory about communism. And the animals on the farm took over the farm from the lord of the manor, the human, and then acted just like him. And remember, some people are more equal than others. In 1948, Alger Hiss denied being a communist agent, although it seems clear that he was. Then in 1962, two 18-year-old East Berliners tried to escape across the Berlin Wall. One was shot. His name was Peter Fetcher, and his death became symbolic of the brutality of the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall lasted from 1961 to 1989. 1970, Soviet spacecraft Venera 7 is launched toward Venus. 1977, nuclear sub Arctica was the first to reach the North Pole. And then in 1991, there was a beginning of a plot to overthrow Gorbachev. It didn't happen on the 17th, that's today. It happened on the 18th, the actual plot. But what actually happened here was that so let's roll back to January. In January, there was an uprising in Lithuania, and there was others in Poland and such. And the Russians wanted Gorbachev to clamp down and be tougher on him, and he wasn't willing to be tougher on them. In June, the U.S. learned of a coup attempt on Gorbachev, and they even informed Gorbachev. Gorbachev didn't realize that his cabinet was actually involved in the coup attempt. So on 17 August, the members of the State Committee of State Emergency, who wanted him to declare a state of emergency, they decided that they were going to force him to declare a state of emergency, or they would force him to resign. So this coup started on 17 August 1991. Come back tomorrow and find out how the coup played out. Thank you for your time and the likes and the shares and the subscribes, and for being the kind of person who cares about the world that we live in.